Hi, Brian.
Hi.
Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Why don't you kick this off by telling us just a little bit about you, an overview?
Okay, I'm 21 years old. I'm going to CU Boulder in Colorado. I'm in the business school. I'm a double major right now in information analytics as well as entrepreneurship. So I want to go somewhere down into the business industry. I also have a minor in Spanish as well.
And what is like the one big passion that really drives you?
So my biggest passion in life is sports. It's something that's been a part of my entire life. It's a lot of the connection that I have with my family, and it's something that I want to incorporate into my career as well.
So which sports do you like the most?
I'm a big golfer. I ski a lot, and I love basketball.
Snow ski?
Snow skiing, absolutely.
And tell me, what is the intersection between your passion for numbers and analytics and sports?
So in sports right now, there's a big movement towards analytics as well as data and sort of this big numbers growth throughout. It's what I believe is a very big growth industry within its own industry. And it's something that I'm good at and passionate about. And I think it's a great way for me to sort of marry my passions with my work and career life.
So practically speaking, if I'm watching a golf tournament, where is the analytics going to be growing? What's new that's happening that you find interesting?
So it's everywhere. It's everywhere involved with the sport. Specifically with golf, everything that they do, everything involved with the swing, everything involved with the course uses numbers. So they change not only the equipment, uses new technology, and they use the data that comes from that technology to make it better, to hit the ball further, to hit the ball straighter, to play better. So it's a huge part of everything that is going on in sports right now. It's not just one part. It's involved throughout every single sport.
So it's the equipment, it's the clothing, it's the course.
It's everything.
It's everything. That's that's so interesting. I didn't even know that.
It's a huge opportunity. I can kind of go anywhere that I want to go with that, which is another reason that I want to go into that industry.
So you don't want to feel like you're narrow, that you have a narrow focus.
Absolutely. I want to be able to do kind of whatever I want to do. And I want to be able to take my skills and apply them anywhere that I see fit.
So if you were going to point out like the biggest challenge you're facing right now, what is it?
I think the biggest challenge for me is finding the right job, finding the right opportunity. While I know what my skills are, it's difficult to find the specific route that you want to go down, especially for me being in college and not having any real serious job experience. The focus for me right now is trying to find that first step and trying to break into that industry.
Got it. Got it. So you're in a research phase, you're curious about what's available, you're paying attention to the companies that are in the space that you're interested in.
Absolutely.
And one of the things that we want to talk about today is your skills. You just brought that up. And how to articulate your skills. And you took the elevations assessment and you knocked it out of the park in the innovator category for sure. Like analyze, debate, strategize, synthesize. So when I put those words into your head, how are those your genius skills? Where do those show up in your life?
Yeah, so those I think show up everywhere. I'm very logical. I'm very analytical. I'm very good at math and things like that. I try and analyze everything. That's how I go about my life. The way that I think is just very logical. It's just how I live. And so that's, it's incorporated in every single aspect of my life. From school and getting homework done to looking to jobs to playing golf.
Right. So it's fair to say that you can be really objective and step back and you can look at things very dispassionately and find the problem that needs to be solved.
Absolutely. I think that's one of my strongest skills, is being able to take a step back and consider every perspective to take everything into account.
Cool. You need to remember that for your interviews.
Oh, yeah.
That was well done. So, tell me, I want to ask you about one more thing here about your skills. So, okay, awesome. I'm so glad that Speak in Public is sitting there because you have such an awesome voice.
Thank you.
So tell me about what is that like to speak in public?
Yeah, so speaking in public is something that people struggle with. And even myself, I find myself struggling sometimes. You get nervous and sometimes it trips you up. But I think that it's a hugely important skill. It's something that I've been working on throughout middle school, throughout high school, and even now throughout college. And it's a really important skill to have. And it's just, I think for me, it's just being comfortable enough in myself, being confident enough in my own knowledge and my own skill set, and to project that to others.
Right. So what kind of public speaking have you done?
All kinds. I mean, we used to do something called, or I forget what it's called, but we used to do speeches throughout middle school, where we'd prepare a speech, you'd memorize a speech, and then throughout high school and now into college, obviously I'm in the business school, so a lot of what we do is giving presentations based off of what we've done through our homework, what we've researched, a lot of projects. Almost every single class I've had to give a presentation in. And so that's just something that I'm continually working on. It's something that I just really, really want to hone down, and I believe I'm pretty good at it.
So if I put those two pieces together and you become involved in sport analytics, can I call it that?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right?
Yeah, sports analytics.
And you want to get on a stage and talk about that. How do those fit together? How could you see yourself doing that?
I think the CEO of a company
is
a great opportunity.
Yeah, you'd be speaking all the time.
Absolutely. It's given presentations on what we're working on. It's taking these things to the public and really helping drive the company and let the company grow, as well as, I think, grow the industry and help move everyone along.
That's really cool that you went to that, because I think, a lot of times we think TED stage or we think motivational speaker, but you see it as, I can be a leader, I can be a voice for that organization.
I can be a voice for the organization, for the industry, and for the sport as a whole.
Got it. So if you were going to give me your pearl of wisdom to close this down, what do you think is really important to share?
I think the most important thing to share is just to follow whatever drives you. That's something that my dad really imparted on me from a young age. He loved to say that, just follow your passions. And, it speaks to speaking publicly as well, as where if you're passionate about a subject, if you really, really know a subject and you love what you're doing, it's going to be so much easier to convey that to people. And I think that's something that is lacking sometimes, is if you're not passionate about what you do, if you're not passionate about what you speak and what you're speaking about, you're not going to be able to inspire other people as well.
Right.
And so the more that you understand what you're doing, the more that you love what you're doing, you can inspire others and make them do what they want to love to do as well.
Right. It's a spark.
It is a spark.
And what I also want to say as we're closing is that your passion is sports.
Yes.
And I think a lot of times people think, I can't make a living doing that, or that's not going to be anything that is easy to get to, or so you didn't look at that and you went ahead and kept following your trail, which I think is really awesome.
Yeah. I think it's something that no matter if it's a small industry, no matter if it's something that may not seem like it has a lot of potential, as long as you're happy with it, as long as you love what you're doing, it has all the potential in the world.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you very much.